Right. Hello guys, good morning. Welcome to yet another video, folks. It's K Days or K Diaries here. Welcome back to the Champions League quarterfinals first leg, including Barcelona against Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid against Bayern Munich, Sporting versus Arsenal, and PSG versus Liverpool. Before we get into YouTube channel, folks, please hit the unsubscribe button. We've got 8 teams left. Who will win the Champions League by the end of the season in May? Right. First up, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. 2 heavyweights of European football clash at the Bernabeu as Real Madrid begin their UEFA Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich with home advantage. Real Madrid returned from March international break by failing to put the pressure on Barcelona at the top of the La Liga, as the last Barcelona scrambled to a 2-1 loss to Real Marcoleros. And as for Bayern Munich, Vincent Kompany is in charge of Bayern Munich, that they are rumping to their way to the Bundesliga title, with the Bavarians sitting just 9 points clear of Borussia Dortmund at the top of the table, producing a remarkable victory at the weekend. 2-0 down and 1-3-2 in the 99th minute strike. So Real Madrid have endured a topsy-turvy campaign, but the middling and the short Regan of Xabi Alonso has given the way to an inconsistent Albion lead area, but consisting of some truly excellent performances, as well as defeats like other day, even worse, such as Copa del Rey, exit to Atletico, and Bayern may not yet have passed a tough test with a defeat to Arsenal in a league phase of their toughest game of the season thus far. But they just appear to be operating at a much higher level than Madrid right now. Siding with them should be the way to go for this one. But I'm going for Real Madrid to win it 3-2 in the first leg in Spain. So then, second matchup, 8 o'clock. Sporting CP will be hoping to repeat success against Arsenal in Europe once again, as the Portuguese Giants welcome to the Gunners in Portugal this week. In the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League, Sporting managed to overturn a 3-0 first leg loss in Norway against Bodo Glimt, but eventually overcoming the miners after extra time last month in the second leg in Lisbon. But the aforementioned success that Sporting have had against Arsenal came a few years ago, as they were under Ruben Amorim, defeating Mikel Arteta's North Londoners in the round of 16 in the UEFA Europa League. Arsenal had an opportunity to head into the March international break off the back of picking up a trophy, but instead suffered a 2-0 defeat to Manchester City in the final of the EFL Cup at Wembley Stadium, and they returned from that break by being dealt another major blow as they suffered a shock 2-1 defeat to the Championship high flyers Southampton at St Mary's in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup at the weekend. So there were question marks about whether or not Arsenal were capable of getting themselves over the line, and with back-to-back matches, 2 glorious opportunities for silverware have gone now, but they remain in a strong position in the Premier League. They are favourites for this UEFA Champions League quarter-final. However, they were unfortunate to avoid defeat away from home in their first leg of their round of 16 against Bayern Leverkusen, and signing with Sporting may well be a good value for this one in the Portuguese capital city. So I'm going for Sporting to get a draw, probably a 2-2 draw. Right. Tomorrow, Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. These are the 2 renewed hostilities once again, having faced each other twice in the spring and once again recently as this weekend. But now stakes are perhaps even higher. At the weekend, Barcelona managed to find a route to 3 points against defeated Atletico Madrid by 2-0, 2-1 to extend their lead at the top of La Liga. Come from behind victory in the Motorolios, courtesy of Robert Lewandowski winner. Barcelona has been irresistible to watch, but a sign of a good side have been underwhelming fairly regularly throughout this campaign. Yet they have consistently found themselves a way to win. But they just smashed Barcelona. They just smashed Newcastle last 16 by 7-2. 7-2. And by 7-2 and 8-3 on aggregate last month. Atletico Madrid, they didn't manage to find a way in the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey though, despite winning the second leg of that tie by 3-0 at the Camp Nou, and with Atletico heading through to the final against Real Sociedad in Seville later this month. But Diogo Simon's Los Barcelos has been very entertaining to watch, and their focus has been fully on the cup, on that final cup as well as Europe, as they trot comfortably inside the top 4 but well adrift of the title race. But Atletico Madrid just smashed Spurs by 7-5 on aggregate, losing 3-2 and won it 5-2, 1-5-2. Barcelona have adjusted ever so lightly from their previous relentless high pressure but almost ridiculous high line. But they remain a side that play with an intense amount of risk, and Atletico have turned themselves into one of the better watches in European football. 2-0 away for typical defensive style, but Barcelona remain favourites, especially at the Camp Nou. But Atletico have a lot of attacking potential to ensure that this is not straightforward for the first leg of the Balagan, but I'm going for Barcelona to win 2-0. And then finally, PSG against Liverpool. Having faced off in the round of 16 last season, defending champions PSG now take on 7-time winners Liverpool in the quarterfinals this time round. Lucas Fiore and his PSG side have been the way short of their best this season, but yet look good, just about retain the Liga title, Ligue 1 title, but also beginning to click into gear this competition. But that is because this is the quarter-final, follows an impressive performance from the Parisians as they hammered Chelsea by 8-2 on aggregate in the round of 16, flexing their muscles against the English opposition once again. So the pressure on a slot intensifies at the weekend as Liverpool scrambled to a 4-0 hammering at the hands of Manchester City in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup on Saturday, continuing their underwhelming campaign for the Reds. They are in a real fight to secure that top 5 finish in the UEFA Champions League qualification in the Premier League, but they did come from behind to hammer Galatasaray in the round of 16 in this competition a few weeks ago. 4-1 on aggregate, that was. As a Liverpool fan, I'm just feeling a bit nervous, a little bit scared really. But you never know on the night. Liverpool still reigning English Premier League champions, but they were only beaten on penalties by an impressive PSG last year, having drawn the first leg and then Paris des Princes. The teams appeared very different this time around though, and with PSG emerging as the force of European football, but Liverpool regressed as a result. Backing a home win remains best bet for this first leg in the French capital city, but I can see PSG winning this. Alexander Isak returning to fitness, of course, like for Liverpool, after spending 125 million from Newcastle, but Isak is back but not fit. But I think PSG will just smash us by 4-2. That's my Champions League quarter-final of the UEFA Champions League first leg. Leave on the comments below and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace out.